A live show on the Matchday Vlogs YouTube channel? What's all this? Alright, hello and welcome to the Matchday Vlogs YouTube channel. As always, please remember to smash that like button and hit subscribe because it really does make a difference to the channel. We're here, back, after... This is our first live show in April.
Yeah.
But when was the last time we went live?
I don't know. It's been a while. It's been a minute or two.
Man City preview. Was it the FA Cup preview?
I think it must have been the Man City preview. That long ago, eh?
That is a fair whack.
Highs and lows since then. We're all over the place. So much has happened.
There is so much to talk about this evening. Thank you so much for joining us here on the live show. If you're watching us on replay, also you can put your comments in the comment section because that stays live all the time. But it's always fun to know where our viewership is watching from. So smack in the comment section where you're currently watching the show from this evening. And also if you've cheekily got the European football going on to your left or right, or maybe right in front of you, or you've got it on your phone and you're watching us on the TV, or vice versa. It's fun to know. It's not really relevant, but it's fun to know. Anyway, let's move on. So, obviously, we are just coming off the back of two rather interesting... I don't really know what to talk about because we haven't been live so long. It's always like, how far back do we go?
I mean, we can go for a fair stretch. I mean...
Do we talk about Prowse in the England squad? How far back do you want to go? You know, let us know.
I mean, my memory only really goes up until yesterday, so... Let's start from there. How was your yesterday? Then just go from there.
My yesterday was very good. What happened yesterday?
Exactly, it's difficult.
It is difficult. I have to say though, I had a pretty good weekend. I mean, it was a jubilant end in a way, you know, to get a point after being 2-0 down. And also I had a good night watching the boxing on Saturday night in a big screen in my back garden with a few neighbours around. So yeah, no, it was all good fun. All good fun. So there we go. Should we jump into the two previous results? Let's talk about.
Let's go recent.
Let's talk about the recaps over the Brighton 2, Southampton 2. Quick word on the Burnley one. Wasn't very good. Bad system, and we lost. There we go. That's enough, isn't it?
I mean, did you not want to just discuss your romp around Burnley a little bit? Just how...
My romp around Burnley? What do you mean by that?
Yeah, I mean, just, you know, I got a nice picture of, was it a river over a road?
I did not walk back that way after the game. It was a beautiful walk on the way, but it was a murderer's row on the way back. I could sort of see myself face down in the canal. Cool, that escalated, didn't it?
I mean, wow. But is that what's Burnley like? I will stay away from Burnley. Thank God I didn't go.
Do you know what? It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. It's all right. It's just a small town up north. I mean, what do you expect? I mean, it's not going to have a Westgate shopping centre in it, is it? It's not, you know.
Yeah,
but it did have a good burger place that I found on Just Eat.
Oh, yeah, how good we talking?
Really good.
Yeah.
Burger Wise. If anyone wants to Google that, it was.
Did they use peanut oil like Five Guys? Because I find that's where it really is for me.
Do you know what? I knew it was going to be really good when it arrived and they had like packaging. Do you know what I mean? They had individually packaged and just kind of wrapped with stickers and branding on the bun, and I was just like, whoa, what have I found? That.
I appreciate that. I recently got a delivery when it arrived. It did, in fact, come in a wrapper that the burgers used to come in at school before Jamie Oliver took them away. Just I looked at it, I was like, oh, I know that wrapping. I really know the disappointment that could be inside of this.
Yeah. But no, that was good. But if I was to give a bit more on the Burnley result, do you know what? I thought, as bad as we were, they were pretty lively and they just wanted it more. I think just the only frustration from everyone that was there and was probably watching on the TV, it's like, why would you not change the system when you can clearly see it wasn't working? But then on the flip side, when you look at the result at Brighton, you're kind of thinking we had similar gaps in midfield on the first part of that game as well. So it was difficult to judge really. But there it is. We've got 1 point from a possible 6 out of the previous two results.
It's not popping. It's not.
It's not popping. No,
It's not
indeed.
great. But it's this Southampton.
It is indeed. Indeed. Oh my goodness. Look at this. Wow. Isaac,
Hey,
thank you so
Isaac.
much for your super chat. Hello, lads. Welcome back. It's great to have you back. We post loads as YouTubers of these live streams. I missed them. So this review, it was my birthday yesterday. I could do some Southampton. Can do a Southampton win soon. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, that would be You know what? I tend to find they do win on birthdays. If it's
Yeah.
someone says birthday, the boys do step up a little bit. So Isaac, I think
If you tell them it's your birthday, you'll definitely do that. But Isaac, thank you so much for that super chat. It certainly does help us keep the lights on the channels and all that kind of stuff. So thank you so much. And as I can see, everyone is chipping in with a happy birthday. Love that.
Happy birthday, mate.
Good job, everyone. So yeah, Brighton.
Fun day, wasn't it? I had a good time.
Yeah, game of two halves, wouldn't you say?
I've never been like more livid and then more happy. Do you know what I mean? It was like I was like I thought I was gonna have an aneurysm about shouting at Salasso that first half, and in the second half I thought I was literally gonna pass out with the Ward-Prowse equaliser. So there was a point after the Ward-Prowse equaliser where I was like, you need to just calm down a minute or two and stop shouting as loud as physically possible.
Yeah.
So I love this picture. Spot the Wallies.
Yeah. Extra prize, you can spot us in there. Let us know where you can see us. But I think, obviously the real star of the show, I mean, if we can get straight to the positives, was really
Look at him.
Look at captain himself. I mean, it is absolutely devastating in terms of his prowess on free kicks. I mean, we said during the game, you may as well just give us a penalty. I mean, it's literally getting at. I mean, his conversion rate, I can't remember what it was, but it's absolutely destroys everyone else's conversion rate in free kicks by a country mile. He's on 14 now, so that will basically mean that he has 4 more to go until he reaches. Let me get rid of that vanity and see who's at the bottom of the list. Thierry Henry.
Who? Don't know any of those old men. All I know is that beautiful man swinging a golf club, invisible golf club.
Exactly. So, astronomical performance. And actually, I saw that Dan Sheldon tweeted that had it not been for Ward-Prowse's goals this season, we'd be level on points with Everton, which is kind of scary.
It is, but at the same time, like that's why you have a player like Ward-Prowse.
It's true.
You can say without those goals, this is where they'd be. Like, yeah, but the fact is, we've got them goals.
Yeah,
and it's he's just the boy. He's our man. Yeah. I think I said the same. I got a text from Dad on the way back from the Brighton game. Don't know when it was. We were watching listening to the Liverpool Everton game, and we were saying, we've got a Ward-Prowse and Everton are bringing on a Dele Alli. But there are men that are going to get you out of situations, and we've got the boy, and he is more than ever saving our bacon. The fact he's top goal scorer this season. He's just doing it for fun getting in that England squad. He is just everything. And after certain little legends have had little spats on Twitter, and I'm like, for God's sake, I've now got this new shiny one that's so good. And he's still here, and he's still banging in goals, and he's everything we want in a player. He's just, and he was wicked against Brighton. Like the fact he's scoring from scoring in play, insane. Love seeing that.
Yeah,
but yeah, he was just really controlling that game when he was running it from the midfield. We were saying that the midfield was so crowded that game; it was just overrun.
Yeah, and
for him to be able to then find spaces and still make business and still get those passes off, he was unreal. He just didn't stop. And, how many times has he made just our away days this season? I think we've seen him. Is it every game we've gone to? He scored a banger. He didn't score against Spurs, did he? So
no, but he scored. Well, we've seen 3 away free kicks. Have we seen a home free kick yet?
I don't think we have. I thought we were discussing this as we were leaving. I think he's been a bit selfish at St Mary's. But
yeah, I think it's 4. No, I think it's because it's Leeds away. Yeah, free kick, and Liverpool scored. Spoiler alert! It was Leeds. It was Palace away. It was Wolves with that crazy one. And Brighton.
Is that all 4?
I think so.
I feel like he scored 100. Do you know what I mean? I feel like I've seen it loads of times to a point where I am so confident every time he steps up. It's ridiculous. I'm just like, come on then. Come on then.
So let's just jump to the chat section because I can see there's lots of comments in here. There were a few sort of concerning ones. I mean, I think Mark brings up an excellent point here. Selassie's loss of form is concerning. It's really weird because when I watched before the Chelsea game, when I watched Selassie play, I was like, do you know what? He looks like a Van Dijk sort of a centre back. Sort of athletic, very quick, but very good on his feet. And also, can hold it up. And now he just looks like, I don't want to say it, but a Wesley Hoot.
Hey, slow up, slow up.
Oh, yeah,
slow,
it's a bit
slow,
strong.
slow.
There's a bit strong.
Slow down. I did see Ralph say in, I can't remember if it was a press or it was a post match, that Selassie is, he's young and he's working on confidence. And right now, after I think it was like the Aston Villa game, he just took a big confidence knock. Oh, it's back.
It's been a while since I've done that. I think Liverpool scored again.
It scored again. So City Liverpool in the final. Then I will discuss that later. But back to Selassie. So he's a confidence player, and he's just taking a bit of a hit. And in our league, it's ridiculous. It's going to be pressure on you all the time.
Yeah.
So to slip at this end of the season, it's it's unfortunate. But he's played a lot this season for us. He's done loads and loads. But the nice thing is, you look at the bench, you're like, well, I don't actually mind Lianco getting a game, and then Stevens, I'm still happy to see come on the pitch as well. It's just finding that right formation like that, especially against when we play the slightly harder teams. A bit like again this weekend against Palace, I expect us to go 4-2-2-2, but I can see against Liverpool us going 3 at the back again, and that takes the pressure off a little bit.
Yeah. No, indeed, and I think also the big thing. I mean, you mentioned Lianco there. The big thing for me is communication.
Yeah,
and when you've got a centre back that's actively engaging with your goalkeeper, that communication where they're talking to each other. Because I think that's probably one of the faults I would say on actually Fraser Forster is in terms of how vocal he is with the back line. He tends to be a little bit quiet, doesn't he?
Well, I kind of at Brighton, I saw him shouting a lot during corners, flapping his arms around and looking a little bit frustrated.
Mm-hmm.
Because we were all shouting about those corners when they were coming in. They were the same thing, ball right over the top, headed back in, and they were every time. Yeah. And it seemed that Forster caught that early and was screaming and shouting, but they didn't want to break shape. So it's, he isn't the loudest all the time, but I find in the moments where you need pulling together, he does tend to be like telling them what to do. But it's if that communication is there.
Yeah.
I do sometimes just think with Bednarak and Selassie, like sometimes Bednarak's not the most confident to be like, I'm the guy today. I'm stepping up. This is my game.
Mm-hmm.
And then if they either both work or they don't.
Yeah.
And you sort of saw that in the Brighton game. The first half they were a shambles, and then as Selassie started to get a little bit better, Bednarak started playing a little bit better, and they kind of ended the game, playing not too badly in the last 20 minutes or so. So, it's they've just got to come out the gate confident.
Yeah.
And I think one affects the other.
Confidence is massive.
And that's why it's massive. That's why every so often, that's not to bring him up again, but he is the boy. But bringing Lianco on because he does have that passion and fire, and he gets that backline shouting and talking. And it's on those games.
Is Lianco watching the show?
I mean, he should be at this point.
I have sent out a link, not to Lianco, but it's on the squad members page, so you can join in the chat discussion. Join us here in the studio. It's in the squad members section. So go and check it out.
I mean, in some ways now, Lianco is always watching because I can't imagine. I can't imagine this changing for a while.
I'm gonna get a massive Diallo one.
You're gonna have to. He's dropped off a little bit, hasn't he? Where's he gone?
He hasn't been playing, to be fair.
Hey, where's Diallo
at? We will get on to talking about Crystal Palace in just a moment. I just want to address this question here. Anyone worried James Ward-Prowse's head could be turned when with the England team? Honestly speaking, me and Jack have been chatting about this probably every day.
Yeah, pretty much. Ever since the Wolves free kick, I was like, right.
Yeah.
People are going to know.
I mean, here's my theory is if he goes anywhere else that's a top 4 club, like a historic top 4 club, So I'm talking about maybe in Arsenal or United or someone like that.
Well, let's not put Arsenal in there. Let's say United, City, Liverpool, Chelsea. That's
Yeah.
the four.
I would say if he went to United, I'd be worried I think he would be worried he'd be lost in the rotation
Yeah.
and whether or not he can guarantee first team football all the time. And that goes for a lot of the other clubs. When it comes to the other clubs that are coming knocking, I think, the likes of Newcastle are going to inquire, the likes of Aston Villa are going to inquire. Is that really going to be an attractive enough move when you weigh up against the balance of I could be a legacy player and I'm guaranteed first team football and I'm definitely going to be playing because I'm club captain and that's the end of.
And they're going to name one of the stands after me.
Yeah, well, there is that. And also when you look at his deal, I mean, either way, we will not lose in this scenario because if someone comes knocking, it's going to be big money. I mean, there was a mention actually when Villa came knocking last season, the 25 million offer was literally seen as an insult and wasn't even, well, it was just seen as an insult by those inside the club. So,
which is why I also think he won't go to Villa because you've already been like, no,
yeah.
we're not having that now, and he won't go to Newcastle because of what's happened this season. And that's not against anything, but I don't see us really doing much business with Newcastle.
No,
because it all just seemed to kick off a little bit, especially once Ralph is here. Do you reckon Ralph is going to let him go to Newcastle?
No, no, and I think the other thing with Ward-Prowse is the fact that where he is at the stage in his career, it's like because what is he? He's like
27's going. I think 27 going 28.
So, and he signed a 5-year deal. He's on pretty decent wages. So
he's the captain, the golden boy. Everything's his. He's pretty
Yeah.
He might as well just have keys to the club.
yeah, I mean, you never say never, but it's
What this is obviously we know how good he is, and we're scared
yeah,
because we know. But my logical brain is thinking he knows that, like he's come through the system. He's been here
Yeah.
20 years already. If he was going to go, don't you think he'd be gone by now?
and there has been times where he's gone missing. Let's be honest. There has been times where he's been shocking, and actually that first game against Brighton at home, he made a horrendous decision when he ran back to the goal line to protect the broken goalkeeper.
Let's hold on. That was Alex McCarthy's fault. I won't have Ward-Prowse being blamed for just trying to Jesus Christ, what can I do?
That was not McCarthy's fault. I'm sorry, I'm not having it. That was not McCarthy's fault.
If you can't kick a ball or dive for a ball as a goalkeeper, go off the pitch.
Yeah, and as the club captain, he should be saying, "Get off, get off," and he should be doing this to the bench and saying, "Get him off." He's club captain.
100%
Club
McCarthy's
captain.
fault.
I bet they both got dot wages for that. It was shocking.
Let's see what you say when Alex McCarthy is our number one goalkeeper next season.
Oh, don't. I'm not ready to go there yet.
Because we're going to have to go there. I'm already riled about it. I'm already riled.
We are. So I think that's enough said about that. So should we move on to the Palace, who we are facing at home?
Palace.
Before we do so, actually, I'm just going to chuck in a quick shameless mention for the midnight charity hike I'm doing. There is a link in the description of this episode, this video, a full story and how to donate. I had a couple of questions earlier on Instagram and YouTube. There's also a link on the Instagram and Facebook stories, but effectively I'm currently doing this. Find an image. I did have an image. I got so many images for today's show.
I've seen some pretty Titan looking pictures today. Yeah, look at them.
God. Look at that. I cannot tell you how cold it is at 6 a.m. in the morning. It's 2 degrees this morning. 2 degrees.
I mean, that's not where you want to be in life. No. What time of the day was this?
That was probably about 6:30.
Okay, so just so you know, I was still in bed fast asleep.
Look how happy I look.
You look.
Look how much I enjoy walking. There we go.
People would never know you're blasting ABBA in those headphones, would they?
Yeah.
No, I'm thinking more SOS.
Yeah. So, if you would like to chuck us a few quid that way, that'd be absolutely greatly appreciated. It's for a great cause, of course, Macmillan Cancer Support. Take care of the worries of cancer, those that are affected by cancer, so they can really focus on their treatment. So it's a great, great cause. Yeah, great stuff.
I, for one, am saying we're putting Isaac's donation earlier straight into that funding. No, I
Boom,
mean it's got go
done,
straight in, straight in.
done. Absolutely,
Anything in these comment sections going straight in there.
absolutely, absolutely. Straight away.
I
So
can
there we
go
go.
without Twix for just a little while.
Oh, thanks, mate. Thanks, mate.
Purely because those Twix cookies you brought me the other day were just
Oh, they're good. Yeah.
put you in a lot of credit, to be fair.
Chat did a lot of extra work for the channel. Starring on, you went on Arsenal Fan TV as
I
well,
did
man.
go on Arsenal Fan TV. Yeah,
How was that?
it was
How was
nice.
that?
It was nice. I'm so glad I got to meet Turkish, and that was my introduction to it. Because I feel like if we ever had to go there and we had to talk the Thai, I don't know how long I could take it for.
I saw Ty that day actually.
Did you now?
Yeah, I didn't say hello. He just walked straight past. I was like, nah.
Nah, I don't. Have you seen that video we did for Sports Bible? It's infuriating. Oh my god! Like I've never been more annoyed by a video, but I sat and watched the entire thing just to like punish myself. So now you wanted to watch this, now you're watching it.
Yeah, indeed, indeed. Oh, yeah, we didn't talk about Tino.
Oh yeah, let's talk about Tino
Yeah,
because it looked gross when it happened.
it's horrible, and you probably heard on the vlog that I was like, that's a bad one, and
Instantly, we knew instantly it wasn't good.
it's a ACL, and so basically he'll be out for the remainder of the year, which will of course push long into the next campaign. But it does sort of, obviously going to have a massive impact on the young lad's career. So hopefully, we certainly wish him all the best. But
Sure.
seeing him go down, it was horrible because actually my wife has done her ACL and it makes a noise when it goes and it's disgusting. It's sorry, darling, talking about you saying that disgusting, but it is a horrible thing, and actually happens to footballers on quite regularly. But it is a horrific injury, and we certainly wish him the very best, and hopefully, he can have a speedy recovery, and we can get him back sooner than the forecasted 8 to 9 months, which he will be out. So yeah, all the best, Tino.
Yeah, I said to you coming back from Brighton that although it's a terrible thing, but he's kind of got the best support system around him for it. Like you look at how back quickly Lianco was back from his injury, obviously not as big,
Yeah.
but with Will Smallbone and like Theo Walcott around him, two guys have had massive like big knee injuries and ACL injuries. He'll have good people around him to sort of keep him up and going, and know that when he comes back, he's going to be all right.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was awful. And as soon as you saw it, it was just. And the worst thing about it was it's not like it's a big challenge or anything like that. It's just planted his foot.
Just changing his direction. That's all he was doing. And it was, the second I saw him go down, I was just like, oh.
Yeah, we all sort of knew. We all sort of knew. But it's we'll just see more Peru now. So
yeah. I mean, Kieran brings up coming here. We'll probably have to get a fullback on loan next season while Tino is out. Maybe you could see a fast track of Thierry Small,
Jake Vokins back from Ross County.
Yeah, I mean, we went the entirety of the previous season with one left back. So,
well, Ralph liked Brandon Williams, so he's definitely going down with Norwich. So we're probably going to get him for like 500k.
Yeah, I mean, it depends what his deal is.
Yeah,
I think
but
the
loan
deal was going to cost us like, what was it, 20 million quid or something like that?
Yeah, that's going to be ridiculous.
Yeah,
but
silly.
Man.
Silly.
You've also got Valerie. Still really coming into the squad now. I know he's playing better as a centre back, but he's still still usually looks pretty nippy down the wing.
I have the same faith as I would a Jack Stevens in right back, if I'm honest. If I'm being brutally honest.
I don't know. I think now he's getting used to being on the pitch and he's getting his confidence up. I'm not saying he's going to be a guy you go straight to, but if he starts playing a little bit more on the pitch, I think going forward he isn't too bad. I think he's always been a bit rash, hasn't he? I think now he's getting a bit used to the game. His best position is that right side of centre back for sure. But I'm just thinking the more he gets into the game, starts to become a bit more of a rounded player. We might be able to see him do a bit more.
Yeah, yeah.
I have good expectations for Valerie. I like Valerie.
He's certainly improved, and I think he's more of a centre back. That's just me. That's just me and many other right-minded Saints fans. Anyhow, should we move on?
Go on then.
So Saturday, 3 p.m. kickoff. Oh, love them. The Saints.
All right. Crazy.
What a mad thing that is. We're up against Crystal Palace, who played Leeds on Monday night, failed to score, and have also not won since their home win of 3-0 against Arsenal, which was on April the 4th. So only one win in April. So a bit of a mixed results for a lot of both Southampton and Crystal Palace, but in terms of the threats, it's the usual suspects, really, isn't it? I mean, it's Conor Gallagher and it's Wilfried Zaha. And
it's no change from when we sort of play them at home, really, for Aston Palace. I think they're on just as good as form. I think they've been quite good this season, Palace. Considering how different it is from last season, I think they've been really strong. I think Vieira's been wicked. But I do kind of
exceptional.
I do find they bring it a little bit more in those underdog sort of games. I kind of find in games against us and Leicester's and those sort of around them, a bit like us, really, kind of just seem to struggle a little bit. So, I mean, the last time it was a great game, another great little away day. But I'm kind of expecting the same kind of thing, really.
Same here. I mean, I just hope that we get a good start. I mean, it's effectively there's
every game, isn't it?
Another game. Yeah.
Every game is the first 10 minutes. And I'm like, right, well, the first 10 minutes gone. Okay, we hope this is where we're going to start to see the game. It was quite annoying at Brighton because they had that really stupid clock that didn't do seconds. And I was like, that really bothers me. I don't know why that bothers me so much. Like I really need that clock to let me know how Southampton are doing.
yeah. In terms of everything else, very nice stadium, but sort your clock out seriously. I mean, you're just gonna invest in all that.
And the fact that it's right next to an actual clock, which is obviously at a certain point telling a completely different time.
Yeah, had the actual time.
Not too bad, and then it's just all over the place. It's very confusing, but yeah.
Like, we've been in the 14th minute for about 20 minutes now, and I realised that's actually the 2 o'clock. It was very, very confusing. Very confusing.
Also, we're very silly and dumb people.
Yeah, we can't tap time.
Yeah, we don't know how it works.
But looking at the results of Crystal Palace, obviously they got a 0-0 draw on Monday at home. They went away to Newcastle and lost 1-0. Away at Chelsea, lost 2-0 in the FA Cup. That wasn't at Chelsea, that was at Wembley Stadium. Lost 2-1 away at Leicester. So they haven't actually scored a goal since that Leicester game, which will ultimately be a concern for them, really. I mean, okay, we haven't scored crazy amounts of goals because we haven't actually. Well,
if you were any Premier League team, right, that wasn't Southampton, and you hadn't scored a goal in 4 weeks,
where do you want to go?
Where do you want to go?
Yeah. Oh, don't.
Where do you want to go?
Well, it's the same. The Brighton thing was that they hadn't scored at home since January.
I kind of feel like Southampton go into a game like every other team will be like, right, we just don't let them score today. We're going there, and Southampton are like, they haven't scored in ages. We're going to be fine. And then it's like, oh, right, then our nose is broken. We're going to go fix this.
Yeah.
Let's learn from this next time. And the next time was like, God, these guys haven't scored that home in months. Let's go. And then it's the same thing again. Like we just seem to forget. It's like we get concussions every time. We're like, oh, we've just forgotten it. It's just, so that's what's got me real worried. But last time they played them, they scored, but there was a resilience there.
There was. But I think we just need to sort out our defence and sort out the communication because, you think about it, the 2 goals that we conceded on Sunday, one was a calamitous error and a bit fortuitous, let's be honest. It was sort of coming together and the ball appeared in front of Danny Welbeck and he scored. And the other one was we were just kind of caught off guard and, Salasu, thinking he was clearing it, actually kicked it into the own goal. So,
I bet how relieved do you reckon Bednarek was when he saw that go in? Do you reckon he was like, oh, thank God. Oh, thank God.
Is that our first own goal of the season?
No, Bednarek's definitely scored a couple, wasn't he? Surely. Surely Bednarak does it every other game. His goal scoring record's fantastic.
Just blanking them out of my mind. Yeah.
Highest scoring Polish player in Prem history. That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's a crazy
Yeah,
stat.
but
right
own
there.
goals. Own goals.
Both. Put them together, dear Lord. No one's catching him. No one's catching him.
Oh dear. There's loads of great questions. I'm sorry not bringing all of them up because I'm trying to keep us on point. But Toby's got an excellent question here. Who's coming out, Forest or Bournemouth? There's loads of stuff in here.
I would like it to be Forest.
Really?
Yes.
But it's only, Bournemouth is only over there. It's really short.
Yeah, but I've been to Bournemouth loads. I've not really been around Nottingham. I mean, also there's something a bit. I like Brian Clough, so there's something a bit in me. I'm like, yeah, Forest come up, Derby come up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that all it? Toby's sitting next to us. Yes, you'll need the sunglasses if the sun's out. That's for sure.
Sunglasses and a cap. Caps are really, really important. Otherwise, you're saluting the entire game. As much as every time I see Ward-Prowse, I want to salute.
So it looks like Toby's going to be on the show on Saturday.
What up?
Ooh, check that out. All right, see you there.
Mike does not pay for this, so just don't expect anything. Don't expect an appearance fee. I was begging Turkish. I was begging Turkish when I went on there. I was like, please, just give me something.
Please send some food.
Everyone thinks that this is the green screen. This is the green screen. I'm outside. This is a real poster I got made up. I'm outside. I'm in the elements.
Yeah, absolutely.
How freaked out would you be?
There's a link to donate to that below as well. Yeah, it's all in there.
If I just push that over, how much would you freak out?
I would actually think I was in the Truman Show then. That would really freak me out. Yeah, absolutely. Rock and roll. Good stuff. Right. Sat's jumped in. Of course you can. Of course you can. We will be in the usual spot as always. And I think actually we're going to do fan cams afterwards. So win or lose.
It's been a bit hectic to do fan cams recently, hasn't it? Outside of Brighton was near impossible. To be fair, considering how long it took us to get out, I'm quite glad we didn't.
Insane. Yeah, that park and ride system is long, very long. Last time I went to the City Ground, Brian Clough was the manager. Wow, look at that.
See, that's it's history, isn't it?
I see what you mean. There's a bit of nostalgia there.
Two Champions Leagues.
Yeah.
Can I say, I actually watched a Brian Clough documentary at lunch today, so he's fresh in my mind. I found a great YouTube channel. It's great. Can't remember what it was called, but it's good stuff.
Good stuff. Right, we're going to have a look at the lineups, but before we do, I'm just going to give a quick mention to Patrick Vieira because I think he's done an exceptional job at Palace. Because I think a lot of people were like-minded with me in the sense that he's come from the MLS in the US. You know, how is he going to adapt to the Premier League? Of course, he knows the Premier League being a former player, but that doesn't always translate. And when you look at what the transition Palace had to go through with all those players out of contracts, I mean, Conor Gallagher's been massive for them, and a great loan deal, just as good as our Armando Broja really from Chelsea. But yeah, just want to say that because I think he's done an exceptional job.
I could see if they give him a decent transfer window. I think this next couple of transfer windows are going to really show a lot of clubs' hands and where they want to go and what they want to do. Mm-hmm. And I think if he gets back a little bit, it kind of reminds me a bit like Poch. Mm-hmm. When he comes to us, you know, it's this great player. Another, can they do it as go and do some good stuff? It does really remind me of that. So it'd be interesting to see what Crystal Palace do in the summer. But
yeah, absolutely.
I don't think it would be long until Vieira's stepping in where Arteta is.
Yeah, that's a good shout. Well, you know, I think there's a lot of managers. You know, there's Thomas Frank, decent coach. Yeah. Graham Potter.
Or does Vieira break everyone's heart and go to United?
Oh, no, of course he doesn't. Let me say.
And just in spite, Arsenal get king.
Spurs. Go to Spurs.
Yeah.
That would ruin a lot of people. Right, should we move on? Let's go to our predicted 11.
Let's.
It's only taken us 34 minutes to get here, so well done everyone sticking by. It's great to have you.
This is like a special episode. It's like almost like a whole new season.
Long. Yeah, so long. So let us know in the chat section if you have any preferred lineups in terms of who you think will start against Crystal Palace on Saturday. Is there any question in terms of the goalkeeping position? I mean, let's have a quick chat about the comments earlier about there's a thought. Was it from the Telegraph? I don't know where to trust the source, but basically saying that McCarthy is coming back as a number one, and the club are going to look for a youthful number two, which kind of alludes to the fact that Fraser Forster is not in the plans for the foreseeable, which I think is mad, but it all depends on the wage package and the offer that's on the table for Fraser Forster. For me, I don't think he gets Premier League football anywhere else, if I'm brutally honest. So maybe if I was his agent, I'd say take a year extension. Is that fair?
It is. It's really difficult, isn't it? Because he's been so good. So every part of Forster could be like, just I'd like to keep the contract that I'm on, please, because look how much I'm proving it.
Yeah.
Week in, week out, and he is really making any other argument difficult. So, I can see him leaving because of that, because we're not going to meet what he wants. But you're right. None of the teams that are currently in the league, but maybe one of the teams that are coming up, or even going back to Celtic. That's I can see that sort of thing happen. It's just, I just don't get it. He's been so good, and we all know how I feel about Alex McCarthy. I think he's been terrible, and what's that form going to be like coming back? And then to make him to say, okay, we're going to buy a goalkeeper in the summer, and he'll be younger. It's like, and a second team. It's like, why don't we just commit and buy a decent goalkeeper and stop messing about thinking,
right?
Let's just sort the goalkeeping situation out. I hate it so much that it's could be this, could be that, could be this. You look at Aston Villa, Martinez is going to be in goal every week. Martinez is amazing. You look at what's the Wolves guy? I forgot his name, but it's not
Jose Sarr.
Yeah, Jose Sarr, wicked. He's going to start every week because he's great, and just to have that confidence, what it's going to be. We go look back to our best days. And I love Anthony Amy as a kid. You knew he was going to be there every week because he was the best goalkeeper in the club. Yeah. Let's just have a goalkeeper who's good. Let's not have he's all right, but he's aging out, so we're going to bring someone in. And like, no, just if you're going to cut the contract, if we're not going to sign Foster, who's doing great and it's already established and everything we need, all right, drop those wages, get rid of them. McCarthy, you can drop him as well. Get Caballero to sign an extension fee and get a wicked goalkeeper, and then bring a youth up. Let's just sort that out. We know McCarthy doesn't work. The only thing that I'm banking on with McCarthy is that Forster was really bad when he went off the Celtic. Yeah. And then he went off the Celtic, had an all right run, and then he went off the Celtic again, had a really good run, and he found it form. There is possible. There is a confidence thing that McCarthy could come back and do it, but there's a bigger chance that he's going to be peppered with Premier League shots that I've already seen him not die for and not go for and not save. Yeah. And now his confidence is going to be a bit further down. I can't picture Alex McCarthy coming out and just being bang on it straight away.
No, and there's also a fact of saying, okay, well, has Forster had a bad game? Is the first 90 seconds warrant enough for him to be dropped? And for me, no, because I think he made some excellent saves later on in that game. So.
And every 9 times out of 10, that first goal bumps up and he turns around and catches it. But when that ball comes out, literally no one knows where it is. It's just pure like that. It happens to be in front of that. There's nothing you can do about it. So I'm not that fussed about it. Yeah. Okay, he's had a few maybe swipes from a corner every so often. Most of the time he's catching it and falling down. And he's being safe. Yeah. It's there are better goalkeepers than Forster out there, and that who can do a bit more of everything and have better feet for sure. But McCarthy's a regression, and I've been so happy with Forster. He's been so good that you're now putting in the guy that I don't like most.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's I can see him starting on Saturday, and I don't see any reason to change that. When we move on to the left and right back positions, unfortunately, I think we know who's going to be in those positions. Kyle Walker-Peters being on his favoured. right side. Can we call it a favoured right side?
I think so.
Um,
Worry.
yeah. Okay.
Worry. The question is he? Will he keep that shape?
I think he does.
Just
I
go
think he does.
straight attacking. Do you
Yeah,
know
I
what it
don't think
was?
he needs to.
It was against Brighton. I said it felt like the two centre backs were playing like there was a third guy there.
Yeah.
You're so wide open. There's a part of me that thinks we will go through at the back, but we just got to play more direct.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem when we play three at the back. When they're talking to each other, works. It does work.
Yeah.
And if you've got the right formation, it does work for us, and it is a better defensive system. I know everyone when it happened, what really bothered me was against Burnley. Everyone was like, "Oh, Ralph's got no plan B." It's like this is the plan B. He's trying it.
Yeah. He's experimenting.
He's experimenting, and
he's experimenting with a system that worked well against Arsenal, and we were very disciplined, and we were able to get a goal. But I didn't see a need to do that against Burnley.
No,
when
against
they're
Burnley,
already going to flood us with their front attacking four.
Exactly.
So it's just a bit of a mess, really. But in terms of like the centre back pairing, who can you see coming in? Do you think Salasu gets a game back? You know, Bednarek?
After that, it's difficult, isn't it? Because it's a part of me that says don't change it. Consistency, keep it going. They learn, and they are good when they want to be.
Yeah.
But then there's a little bit of me that looks at Lianco on the bench, and then when that ball went out for a throw in, and he headed it, and he almost jumped over the benches to get on the end of it. I thought, I just love him so much.
He just
love
wants
you.
to play. Yeah. So yeah.
So there's a part of me that.
So I'm going to say
thinks,
Bednarek.
Yeah.
And then really, I don't know. I kind of thinking he's just going to stick with Salasu.
So do I. I know it's not exciting, but would Salasu and Lianco work? Would that just be crazy?
I think there's not enough experience there.
And even though I think it'd be just madness.
Yeah, I think that'd be terrifying. I think the wings posed the best questions. I mean, Teller and Redmond had an okay game, but I think when Stuart Armstrong came on, you know, he likes this position when it's got this amount of space.
Yeah, when he's allowed to play in that position and not have to push in as a number 10 so much.
Yeah. So that's why I think that we might go with more of that kind of thing. I mean, it could be in the sense that you have a Redmond Armstrong pairing.
What about
is Moy fit?
I'm pretty sure Moy's fit. I think Moy's ready to go. What about would a Stuart Armstrong Nathan Teller partnership interest you at all?
Interesting one.
Isn't it though? Because I kind of feel like Teller can float into that 10 role as long as he's the one that's doing it. I feel like when it's him and Redmond, they're both trying to do the same thing, and they end up being really narrow together. Whereas Stu likes to play the wings a bit more, and they push out a bit more.
Yeah,
and they track in. The only thing with that is it's like Peru pushing up behind Teller. Because that was, as we saw against Brighton, we kind of saw there was a few times that Peru really didn't bring the overlap, and he was playing very, very defensive, and it kind of leaves Teller a little bit lost on his own.
Yeah. I think we also played Teller against Brighton on that home game last season, and he just went missing on that one as well. So bit of history repeating there. But yeah, I'm gonna stick. Let's go with Stuart.
Just to be really crazy and out there, what about Stuart Armstrong and William Smallbone?
No, I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be Redmond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he was so slow. He was so slow.
I think it's going to be. Here's what I think. I'm going to smash in the rest, and then you can tell me how mad I am in the chat section.
To be fair, I'm not that mad about it because, like we were just saying, he will go more central. He'll do what Teller. He'll do the same thing Teller was going to do. Just probably a bit more harder about it. Cool. Typing that in, are you?
Yep.
I don't know. No. Did I right? I gotta wonder, right? Because in that last game,
Adam,
and we want to sing it so badly. I've seen a few people say, "What does it say about Adam Armstrong that he's chosen Shane over him a lot this season? A lot,
and he's leaving in a couple of weeks.
Yeah,
I know.
Not, but I mean Shane and Brozier, like it's both. You know, both of them have started over. I am.
Sorry, I'm doing a live show. Stop calling me.
But
sorry, man.
It's you know, is it just problems of Adam Armstrong? Do you think it's just a confident thing that Ralph isn't seeing him? I mean,
I don't understand why you wouldn't play him at this point in time, because Armando Brozier, when he came on, he kind of looked like he wasn't interested, which worries me.
Here's the thing though, with Brozier, the way he plays is that he's quite. You think he's quite lethargic, and suddenly he gets the ball and he's 100 miles an hour, and that kind of catches people off guard. That is kind of what he does.
Mm-hmm.
And Adam Armstrong is kind of the reverse of, like, he's constantly running, tracking back. There, and it's a little bit of you want them to sort of meet in the middle of each other.
Yeah.
And I kind of do think Shane does that right now, but lacks that, you know, the pace still. He lacks the that final bit of enthusiasm. But it's difficult, isn't it? I'm like you. I think Adam Armstrong needs to start pretty much now to the end of the season.
Yeah.
He's our player. We've spent 15 mil on him. Yeah, and he needs to get cracking. And you know, it's impossible to find that confidence and form if you're not on the pitch. Mm-hmm. There's been a few times recently as well when we get to 70 minutes, and I'm like, you know, or he comes on for 10 minutes. You're like, that's not enough for him to settle into this game and get into it. He needs 20, he needs 30 minutes. You need to bring him on like 70 minutes in, and it's just.
It's the same with Shea Adams when he was first at the club, when he was brought on, you know, 10 minutes towards the end, and it was just like, it's kind of, if he doesn't do anything, it's almost worse that he was brought on, because everyone's going to go, he hasn't done anything. What's the point? So, dear me. Leicester till I die in the chat session. What is? I'm going to bring up his comment. Hello, Chris. How are you? What has happened to you? See the like a bride's niggas on their wedding night. Shocking. It's. I think we've had an alright season.
I don't want to be offensive to our boy over here.
We got 40 points.
We got 40 points, but also, I have gone on the whole season and not even thought about Leicester. It's not like they're in the Conference League final, which I think we can semi-final, which we can all agree is a stupid trophy until we're in it.
No, it's Johnson Paint Trophy Europa.
And when you phrase it like that, I love it. But I'm jealous. You know, it's hard, isn't it? It's they've just not been great this season. And considering what we all thought.
Do you know what? This league is absolutely mad though, because when you look at who's around us in the league, I mean, okay, Aston Villa have got two games in hand, but they're still beneath us. Yeah. And you know, they're spending a ton of money with European aspirations, and we're going to do this, we're going to do that, and look where they are, you know. And you know, I think Leicester's a trickier one, because you know they've had injuries. I don't think they've had enough investment in their squad for their aspirations. I think, you know, there's a lot of chat about Brendan Rodgers leaving is probably disrupted them. But in regards to getting rid of Brendan Rodgers, I think it's been nuts. But we're not here to talk about Leicester.
No, we're not. Indeed. And also, Chris, no one's jealous here. The only person jealous is you of my fine collection of Southampton tops that you're always asking me about. He's always in my DMs asking if I've got spares or I've been sending links to him. It's just.
Isaac, thank you so much for the super chat. Why do we have Adam Armstrong here as you taught as a solar powered torch in the rain? Plus, I love Shane Long, but he has scored one goal in 4 millenniums. We have Brazier because we can't score goals. Some excellent points there. I would say it's kind of a bit harsh on Adam Armstrong. I think he's going to take time to adapt, and he has scored goals in his opening season with Southampton, and that's a player that we acquired from the Championship. You know, is he Armando Brozier level dangerous yet? No. I think he perhaps needs to be a bit more selfish, but hopefully time will tell. And I certainly agree with the Shane Long comment. He's an absolute legend. And I think every time we see Shane on the pitch, it's Shane Long scores. We're on the pitch.
We're all happy to see Shane doing this thing. But it's one of them. The Adam Armstrong just reeks of Shea Adams' first season, but Shea had Danny Ings next to him.
Yeah. And
now Adam Armstrong is working with Shea. Not saying that Shea's not amazing, because he really is, but he's not that ridiculous thing that Danny Ings was those seasons. So
yeah, Adam Armstrong needs to be a bit more selfish, and it will happen.
what are we going to do when we sign Danny Ings this summer?
What do you mean?
Because I've seen a few things on Twitter just saying, Aston Villa Aston Villa going to probably offload Danny Ings this summer. So what if Southampton are like, we'll give you $5 million for him, and he's
Are they really? Are they going to offload him?
Yeah, they don't want him.
Wow.
They don't want Danny Ings. Look at what I think. Gerrard wants Danny Ings. They played together. He's like, get out here, old man. I'm doing something.
That's nuts. No, I don't think he come back. I don't think. I don't.
Yeah, you're right. He wants Champions League football. What am I saying?
Yeah. I've got very little ill feeling towards Danny Ings. I think he's the way he left the club wasn't great, but hey ho, it is what it is. I don't know. I've had Finbar's question a bit longer. How's Bertrand Vestergaard doing at Leicester? Yep, that's a fun one. That's a fun one. Right. So are we locking that in? Sorry, I've had this lineup on here.
Yeah, do you know what?
The only one I'm questioning is this one.
It's not exciting, but that is a good team to go into that game with.
Yeah. This person here could be Armando Broja or Adam Armstrong, in my opinion.
Or Lianco. Not in that position, but
or Lianco.
Bringing the third down and playing just Adams up top and trying to play a bit more direct. I actually think 3 at the back with Redmond on the side playing and dropping into that number 10 a bit more might be an all right option, but it's just very defensive, isn't it? But then again, did we start 3 against them, 3 at the back against them when we played them away?
Lianco definitely played.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I'm recalling Lianco playing, so in my mind that means we probably play 3 at the back.
But it didn't stop him from scoring very easily. So
but
or maybe Redmond up front with Broja. Those two work well together. But there we go. Anyway, we're locking that in. Because otherwise we could literally be here all night. So that is our predicted 11 for the game on Saturday. So let's move swiftly on to the more audacious part of the show. Our score predictions for the game. As always in the chat section, let us know what your score predictions are, and I will read those out right after me and Jack have done ours. Jack and I have given ours. This would be the more correct English, and we've been corrected there. So, I'm going to go first.
Go on then.
Do you know what? I'm going to go again. Because if you say it enough times, it might actually happen. 2-0 Saints.
I love it. He's going in hard.
I think for the rest of the season, I'm just going to
sooner or later.
2-0 Saints, and eventually, it's going to happen. So
it's I really like the way that you're playing this game.
And I'm like a bad guy who's got out of control with his betting. He's like, again, hit me again.
What's happened is you saw me win that accumulator on the road back from Brighton. You're like, wow, Jack's got a really. Actually, this is what I got to do.
Yeah, just go again.
Just go again. Yeah. Go again.
Yeah. Hit me. Do it again.
Tell you what, I'll hit you with a score prediction of 3-1.
Oh, okay.
2-1, then tie it off.
Okay. I like it. Yeah. So Jack is going for a 3-1, and I'm going for a 2-0. Look at that.
Big games. It's going to be count. We're going to concede some goals. Let's talk what we actually think. It's going to be.
Right, let's go through these. I've got to scroll through. Ings to Burnley. I missed that one. Yeah, that'd be a funny one. Right, here we go. So kicking off with Joe, who's going for a 1-1. Starting off with a draw. Whoa. We haven't been on live for a month, and you give poor old Jack here a draw. Sorry, Jack, the way it is. Lord O'Benny's going for a 2-1 to Southampton. Tom's going for a 1-0 to Saints. And Joe's put, although it will be Prowse 69s, aha, nil. That'd be a funny one. Josh is with you, Jay. He's going for 3-1 Saints. Careful reading the names out, Mike. Oh, I haven't been caught out already, have I?
No, but I've seen one that has made me laugh, so.
Okay, cool. Thank you for the heads up, Josh. Appreciate that. James, this one's safe. James 3957. I can see a 2-0 Southampton. God, James is with me on that. Look at that. Toby's going for a 4-0 Saints. Adams with 2. Adam Armstrong. Ambrosia's last goal for the Saints. Cool. That had a sad ending to it for someone that put a 4-0 thing in there.
I mean, it'd be a nice way to end it.
Yeah, I can take every goal we possibly can. This now is going for a 2-1 Saints, Adam Armstrong and Salasu.
That would make up for some stuff.
Hang on, was this one?
That is one of them. I mean, I would assume.
Is that one of those names?
I mean, it's a pretty. Sure.
Yep, this person is going for a 2-2. Adams, Armstrong, and for Palace.
A name like that and a draw, get out.
Mateta Brace. There we go. Oh, Isaac, please forgive me. I dream of for predicting this 1-1. That's where the super chats come in. It's just like, I'm gonna have to predict it.
Oh, Isaac, thank God you're a nice guy. Thank God you're lovely.
Some thoughts on the 4-0 there, but Adrian's going for 3-0. This is definitely one.
Yeah, that's definitely one.
Yeah. Naughty. I ain't doing that. No. You're not going to catch me out. It's that easy. Although if I didn't have the heads up, I reckon I would have read that. Anyway, this person's going for a 2-0 Saints. Mark Richards is a member of the channel. Thanks so much for the support. It's going for a 3-2 to Saints. Fat Saints fans going for a 3-1 Saints with you, Jack. Remo Screamer.
Pretty sure that was just me commenting. No,
James Ward-Prowse penalty. So it could be a free kick or a penalty. Doesn't make a difference. Let's be honest with you. And a Lianco header. Oh, I'd love that. If Lianco gets a header
at our end,
Lianco shirts.
I mean, there was a part of me that was pretty much already planning buying a Lianco shirt this weekend.
I'll get one too. Headed goal, Lianco. Love that so much. Stuart Roberts going for a 4-1. Very much enjoyed Brighton game. I was very good at the game. Absolute limbs anyway. And it was madness. I did enjoy it. It was a good day out. Finn Barr's going for 3-1. To Saints. Stuart Roberts going 4-1. James Ward-Prowse with 2 free kicks. Squeamish P is just a name I randomly came up with. I promise it doesn't mean anything. Okay, there we go. I've said it. Hang on. Is that another one?
I think you just either.
I'm just getting nervous now.
At this point, I would just read them out and then apologise for it afterwards.
Okay. Bob John is going for a 2-1 Saints. That's safe. I think it is. Right. Yep. Okay, cool. Sorry, I've just been warned on those. Yes, his celebration would be priceless. Absolutely. Statman's in. TB Football Analysis, 2-1 Saints. But with McCarthy being keeper next season, I'm down. Yeah. And look at that. Toby's in as well. So we're all getting Lianco shirts if Lianco gets a headed goal for the win. Love that. That'd be fun. I bought Lianco away shirt last week. Would seal the deal. It would certainly seal the deal. And to cap it off, beautiful Saints going for 3-2 to Southampton. Like it.
Yeah, I can see that sort of stuff too. I thought that I did. Part of me was thinking 3-2, but I've just got a little bit more faith in the boys this week.
Yeah, I think we need to have a good performance at home, and I'd certainly like us to see a clean sheet. But if it meant that Lianco got a header, then yeah, I can see. It's fine. There we go. Lovely stuff. But thank you so much for those score predictions. Of course, it means they will come true. Whatever you typed in, and you see, believe, achieve. There he is. Put it into motion. There we go. Well done, everyone.
We all live in the Matrix, and we all see what we want.
So now we come to we just passed the hour mark of the show. So thank you so much for staying with us. We're just going to have a quick chat on other subjects like we do
Oh,
at the end of these live
let's
shows.
talk.
You
Let's talk,
fancy that?
baby. Yeah, let's talk, baby.
And the only thing I can really think about, which is of course making everything perhaps more exciting than watching the title race, because it's probably going to go to the final day of the season, and I don't see either team losing points. Although I do see Liverpool losing points when it comes to St Mary's on the 17th. By the way, everyone, that date has been rescheduled. Seamless link.
Tuesday night party.
Is that what I did there? Which is now going to be on the 17th of May on a Tuesday evening at 7:45 kickoff time. So look at that. Put that in your diaries. It's just 2 days after when we were supposed to play them, which was a Sunday fixture. So there we go. Lovely stuff. Look at that. I'm helping the club out and everything.
Yeah.
So the only thing I can think about really is to chat about the relegation situation with Everton now actually in the bottom three for the first time of the season, with Burnley picking up 7 points from a potential 9 in their previous fixtures. Of course, they've got a point at the London Stadium and 3 at home against us, and then they beat Wolves on Sunday before the Merseyside derby.
They won it,
which drops Everton into the bottom three. I am more concerned for Everton than I ever have been. I was on the position that I could
You
never.
didn't believe me, did you?
I didn't believe you. I didn't believe you. But there's a long way to go. There is a long way to go, and this part should concern everyone. What I'm about to say is, if Everton get themselves out of trouble, okay, I don't think 40 points is going to be enough to beat the drop.
What, next season?
This season.
No, probably not.
Because when you think about the game, because Burnley go to Watford on Saturday, and I can see them, because effectively the way the punters putting it, they only need 2 wins to stay up, and I don't think that's right. I think that the threshold might be closer to the 40 points, and even maybe 40 points.
Yeah, it's going to get really close. It's going to get really close to that 40 points either way.
Yeah. So if looking at where the bottom of the table is, I'd be worried if I was a Leeds fan. That's for sure.
Leeds have got a really bad run in as well. Out of everyone here, I think Leeds should be more worried than Burnley even.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
No, that's something to certainly consider. Leeds. Who have Leeds got next? They've got Man City.
Yeah.
Crikey.
They think they got Arsenal and some. I think they got maybe Liverpool as well. They got a pretty bad run.
Yeah.
Pretty bad run. But Everton's isn't much better. That's the funny thing. Burnley have got not quite a decent run. A lot of teams in and around them. It's just.
Yeah.
But like I said, when it happened, we were listening to the Liverpool game, and Richarlison was doing what I said Richarlison would do at this stage of the season. He would start falling over, flapping his arms, trying to do things like that in the game instead of playing the game of football and trying and scoring goals.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where they are now.
Yeah.
Like everyone can say, they showed heart against Liverpool. It's like, well, they tried to play the worst game of football.
Yeah.
They tried to ruin. They tried to ruin a game of football.
They were trying to frustrate, weren't they?
And that's like that's you can do that against Liverpool because they're trying. They're playing a decent brand of football.
Yeah.
But I think other teams are just not Liverpool like playing nice football, and then we'll just grain out a scruffy win. They won't like break it. They just be too good for you. Whereas teams like Watford, they're gonna hate Arsenal. They're gonna hate Everton. Sorry, they're gonna really hate those games. So I just don't see it. I don't see it, and I just don't see Frank's tactics.
No, and I think also when you look at the likes of, I mean, it's mad to see who's down there. I mean, Villa have got 37 points, Palace have got 38 points. We've then got 40 points. So really, Saturday's game could put one or two of us out of the equation completely, couldn't it? In regards to, the discussion, there is no danger. But yeah, I mean, okay, Villa have got games in hand, but they've still got to play them and win them. They've got to play Burnley twice as well.
Yeah.
Which is a mad thing, really. But do you see any other candidates, or is it just literally Leeds, Burnley, Everton?
Leeds, Burnley, Everton for me. I think that's where the fight is. I think everything above that is nice, is safe at this point. Anyone that's 40 points, 38 points, 39 points, I think they're gonna pick up another 4 or 5 before the end of the season, and that will 40 points won't do it. But I think 45 will. Definitely. Once you start going past 40, you'll be okay. That's why we definitely should pick up some points in the next couple of weeks, hopefully.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just so, because what I would hate is if we ended this season just above that relegation scrap.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be just above Leeds.
Yeah,
I don't want to be just above Burnley. I want to be close to that 10 mark, punching the other side of it.
Yeah, and it's just as congested above us. I mean, effectively, we are 3 points off 9th.
Yeah.
And yet we are also 3 points off 15th. That's the crazy thing about it, really.
It's just all over the place. It's just anyone who says this season, like the league this season, isn't good. It's just like, oh, you're just ridiculous. If you're a bitter person that's looking at this league, it's like, oh, it's been rubbish this season. It's like the title race is still on.
Yeah.
Relegation is still on. Top 4 is all over the place. It's the middle of that table is so congested it can go anywhere. It's so competitive in this league, which when you drop points against struggling relegation teams, I'm almost like, well, of course we did, because they're fighting for their lives, and if you're not willing to put that kind of energy into a game, you're going to lose it. And we have against all of those teams that were shooting their way out of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Newcastle are the perfect example of it.
Well, yeah, I mean, when you look at the investment each of these clubs have had, I mean, it's mad. I mean, okay, we lost recently 6-0 to Chelsea, but when you look at the investment in each of these clubs, theoretically, we should be losing that much to these clubs.
Yeah.
In terms of the investment that has been spent on a Man City, on a Chelsea, on an Arsenal squad, on a Villa squad, in terms of the, millions in terms of player fees and wages. It really is. I mean, I saw a hilarious. Did you see the Arsenal Fan TV interview where someone was basically saying it wasn't fair that Chelsea were loaning out all their players because I think it was to do with Conor Gallagher playing up against Arsenal, and effectively they're playing Crystal Palace, but actually they were playing Chelsea because Conor Gallagher was in the side, and it was a mad comment because of course the player's on loan, and effectively, it kind of alludes to the fact that he is a Chelsea player, but actually he's just playing to get game time. And does that give Chelsea an advantage over Arsenal? In a minute way, it does, but that also implies that the league is fair.
Yeah,
and it's not. It's not. It's like all the F1 drivers driving the same car. They don't.
No,
they don't. And all teams in this league don't have equal opportunities. They don't have the same wage capacity, investment opportunity. It's just not. So
Chelsea really are a funny one right now, because first of all, where are the sanctions gone? What's happened to all of that?
Mm-hmm.
It seems to have just gone away. They still got the shirt sponsor. There's still fans in the stadium. They haven't been sold yet, so they're still making money. So does that mean they could have to do transfers this summer?
I think it's sort of been put in an offset account that's then not actually connected, which is a bit weird. I don't know.
I just don't get it, because obviously the new loanee rule comes in this season where it's limited to how many players you can have out on loan, and obviously and Chelsea are just like, they're going to be there's going to be so many players there that they're going to have to offload quite a bit. But then if they can't do transfers, how are they going to? It's going to be an interesting window.
Yeah, it will be. It will be. Just going through some of these comments. Oh, we got another super chat. Thank you very much, Isaac. Is there a way in chat you guys can come up north? Yes, you can join on the squad member thing, and you can join these live streams. You can get involved in the discussion that way.
Or just go to a game up north and just make sure we're going to the away day.
Yeah. That'd be fun. That'd be fun. We'll do that.
I will. If I see you on an away day, I will buy you a pie, Isaac, and maybe a Twix if they sell them.
What an offer!
I know.
Look
right?
at that.
I know, right?
What do you think of the pie at Brighton? I was a bit let down by it, actually. I was expecting bigger things.
Do you know what?
But
The fact that the lady
St.
came
Mary's
out,
pies, aren't they?
the fact that the lady came out at half time and was like, these pies. I was like, these pies that taste a lot like St. Mary's pies. So I
I
don't
are.
know. So yeah, it was fine. It was a letdown. I wanted a different pie. I like the St. Mary's pie. Really do like it. It's just I go somewhere else. I want something else.
Worst pie in the league so far, Jack.
Wolves. Don't even have to think about it. Don't even have to think about it. Wolves.
Jack didn't even finish half of that pie.
It was disgusting. I've had better pucker pies just in the microwave.
Yeah, there we go.
Or cold, just hungover.
We will have 43 points on Saturday, Mike. Stop worrying, be happy. This is excellent advice. Thank you.
Yeah, you really bummed us out into this frustration.
Oh yeah, sorry. Right. Let's talk about relegation. Yeah, we're still in it. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't really mean to do that. There we go. But I think just to cap this off, really, because we could talk about this for hours and hours and hours. I'm just amazed that Everton are in this position, and when you look at what they've spent,
I know, right? Makes you just appreciate a little bit of how well run we are.
Yeah, I think there was a crazy stat. I can't remember. It was beginning of, or in the same period that Liverpool has spent 200 million. I think Everton has spent 800 million. That's nuts.
It's crazy, isn't it? Just too much money.
Yeah.
I mean, there was already there was that talk of the point stocking at one point in the season as well, wasn't it? Because they've spent so much money.
No, they're going to get that. They're still going to get that. That's still going to happen. And it's been deferred at the moment, so it could actually. I mean, if it happened this season, they'd be dead married, and effectively,
Oh yeah, there'd be no coming back.
Norwich might survive, in terms of where they would be placed, but yeah, I think that's still a thing because they've destroyed FIFA Fair Play, and it's not even close.
And when you look at the decisions that they've made, bringing people in and managers in, I mean, Rafa, okay, as an outsider, as a Liverpudlian, non-Scouser, we could look at that going, Rafa's a good manager regardless of where he goes, but it just obviously from day one just wasn't right.
Yeah,
Ancelotti seemed like the goal. They invested everything in him just for him to be flippant and leave. Like, how could you not do that without being like the surety of like, listen, even if you're going to be here, right? You have to be here if you're going to do this.
Mm-hmm.
And then he goes, Coman. That didn't work. That was. I would say not since Roberto Martinez. Really, has it been decent at Everton? Has it?
No. It's yeah. I think it was probably a mistake. In terms of how often they've changed their manager is one of the reasons why, that they're in a situation they have. But
who else did they have? What was the Watford guy? Silva.
Yeah, Marco Silva. Yeah, he's going to be coming up with Fulham.
So many managers. That's the level. That's his level.
Do you remember that time where everyone wanted Marco Silva at St Mary's? But that was during the Mark Hughes era. So
anything would have been
just anything, anyone.
Anything.
You get on the bench, tell them what to do. That's where we were at that. But there we go. Any other final thoughts on relegation stuff now that I've bummed everyone out at the end of the show?
Nah.
Sorry,
I think we've been depressed enough.
Good job, Mike. Nice work.
Thanks for that, man. Hello, darkness, my old friends.
Oh, dear.
I really wish I had thought about putting like the auto tune thing back on it, but it's all packed away. That would have been perfect for that.
Yeah. But there it is, our first live show in more than a month.
And it's feature length, So
yeah, it's feature length. It's literally the same as a good thriller on Netflix. There we go.
Not very suspenseful.
No.
Even that was really suspenseful.
I got bullet points and everything. So yeah, it's kind of there it is. Someone's come in quickly. Line up for Saints on Saturday. Look. that. Seamless.
I would
Like
have
I
said,
did there.
I would have
Look at
said,
that.
gone back and watch it so we can watch all the good stuff that we talked about.
Yeah, there was some good stuff in there.
I think that was around minute 507. Where about what we're on now?
34th minute. If anyone in the chat wants to timestamp the episode, then be my guest.
I like how that's a step too far for you.
It
We'll stop at a service station and film a post match, but do our timestamps to the video is a little too far.
Yeah, it's a good point. It's a good point. I was just like, I want to get away because I don't want to be stuck in traffic. And I was stuck in traffic anyway. But what can you do?
Content, baby.
Indeed. But as I said, there will be a episode on Saturday. We'll be doing fan cams after the game, all things being well. But yeah, so if you're at the game, want to give your thoughts after the game, come find us. We'll be on the railing bit just outside the Itchin stand, so that's where we'll reside for at least 5-10 minutes. So come find us there. But thank you so much to everyone who's joined us on this mammoth welcome back to the live shows, Mike and Jack episode. It's been fun, and there's a ton of excellent stuff in this episode. So if you are watching replay, go and rewind and have a watch back. As I said before, the link is in the description for my Macmillan Cancer Support charity walk. So if you want to find out more about that, and also give a donation, that would be greatly appreciated. You can find all that in the chats in the description, and also on the Instagram stories and Facebook stories. Details of that are there. So there we go. All it leaves me to say is, as always, remember to like, comment, share and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. All right, see ya.
Bye.